Greetings all, this is Falcon Paradox here with another reply to Shukuen Shinobi's review, this time of figma Kamen Rider Strike. I want to thank him for his great review of Kamen Rider Strike. I'm going to make it my mission to obtain all 13 riders, and just want to share my likes and dislikes for this figure. Is he right for you? As always, we're going to start with the helmet sculpt, which is actually very good. The design is pretty spot on compared to his TV counterpart. The triangle emblem right here was painted flawlessly. Couldn't believe that. The designing up in here on the sides, where the kind of Cobra motif really, the fan, I guess you could say, that looks very well done. Of course, little paint problems in between here with the lines. That's kind of come to expected now. The detailing here with the fangs is really well done, and all the way around, it's very, very streamlined, very nice. I guess I would say is that this is, I would say this would have to be a little bit thicker, the little golden kind of Cobra emblem up there, but that's just a nitpick. I'm not going to put points for that one. From the neck down, Shukuen did a great job explaining the different types of plastic used for this whole front and back piece. This is the flexible part, and then this underneath here is not so flexible. If anybody remembers the old Sochaku Henshin, that was one big piece that came right on over this. But I really like how it's flexible. At least you can get a little bit more degree and it wouldn't scratch up this under part, so that's a plus. As far as the sculpt goes, it's very nice. Very well detailed all up in here, all around, comes all the way back down. Very nice. I know this bottom part kind of pushes that down there like that, but that's I think that's the same way the suit was. I'm sure the suit actor in there was probably complaining about the same thing. From the waist down, it's pretty much everything we've seen before. One little tiny complaint is that this underneath part here, every one of these is different with every single rider, and mine had a little bit of a glue accident, I guess you could call it, up under there. I know you can't really see it, but it off-centered it a little bit, and so I ripped it out for it would center itself, and now I'm paying with it for kind of an ugly glue mark, but I'm not going to deduct points for that. That's just a quality control thing. On to the paint. A fellow reviewer put it best: great paint can make a mediocre sculpt amazing. Bad paint can make the finest sculpt mediocre. Paint on this figure is slightly disappointing. Not terrible. For one, like Shukuen said, this is one case the paint should be glossy, and in my opinion, metallic purple. As an airbrusher and modeler, I know how hard it is to get metallic purple, or at least an accurate one. I know Bandai tried a few times before with their Sochaku Henshin Ouja, which was more like a lead purple, and then they tried again with the Sochaku Henshin Sword, which was a pearl lilac. I think the one they nailed the best was the Softbee Ouja, which is here. That metallic purple, I have no idea how they did it, because it turned out beautiful, very accurate actually, but we're not here to see these. Just before I throw it in too, there's the Sochaku Henshin Sword, which is a two-stage purple. It's a silver coat and then a clear purple, just like I said with the Incisor review, which isn't too much different than what they've done here. To get this purple on there, they had to do a coat of white and then a coat of purple, and you can actually see the white if you look in where, I guess you're not really supposed to look, like there's little bits of white in here where you can see the purple paint didn't make it. You'll notice little bits of splashing here and there where the coloring kind of trails off. Basically, I'm just saying that to prove my point that you need two coats of paint for this kind of figure. Why not have done silver and clear purple? Don't know. I know purple is really hard to do. There have been some purples that didn't make it, like the Rider Mask collection. I think Medicom Toy did one, and the awful, super imaginative Chogokin series Ouja, which was just awful. But yeah, as far as the rest of the paint job goes, the gold etching up in here is good when it is. I've saw a little where some gold paint didn't quite make it. All across here was pretty consistent, and the helmet was hit and miss. The back I had no problems. The V-buckle is probably the part that suffered the most with the missing of purple paint. I also had some missing purple parts in here with the shoulder pads actually get around, but yeah, overall it's decent. Now on to the accessories. The Spiral Venom Saber. And the first thing that took me by surprise was the size. It's much bigger than I expected compared to the crappy Sochaku Henshin version one right here. Even the color is completely different. But yeah, it's painted very nicely, very nicely. Of course, he also has the metal visor. I thought this was a little big in the preliminary pictures. I was like, that was gigantic, but I think it was just perception of how the camera was. I know Shukuen mentioned that you can't really get him in that cool pose where he kind of does this with the back. Bandai wouldn't have had that problem. Refer to my Kamen Rider Wing Knight review to see why I would have liked a hand that bent side to side. But besides that, last thing about this, the detailing is great. They had everything down, even down to this little part, and I know you can't see it with my crappy camera, but there's a little, like a thorn, I guess you could say, sticking out right there. I was like, gee, what's up with that? And I actually had to look into the encyclopedia. That's actually on the actual prop for the show, that there's this little tiny thing sticking out right there. Wow, I just like the attention to detail. Way to go, Max Factory. So how fun is the figure? Well, it really depends. Ouja debuted a third after the start of the show, so he's a latecomer. But despite that, he's killed a lot in his time, both as a rider and not as a rider. Ouja's character in Ryuki, Asakura, left a strong impact on people, which made them like him, because he's a loner, badass, homicidal sociopath. He vented 4 of the riders from Dragon Knight, so he's pretty much the perfect rider. His fighting style and character bloodlust worked so well with his dialogue and just screwed up persona, in Ryuki anyway. His character in Dragon Knight was the loyal assassin type, and I think that kind of takes away a lot from what we had in Ryuki. But the guy fights just to fight. I think he definitely need an opponent in order to get the full play value out of this guy. But he has a lot of awesome poses that would look striking on any desk or shelf. And, yeah, pun intended. So what's the end result? Paint will get I'll give him a 4.5 out of 5. I'm not going to dock points for the metallic purple, but I really would have loved to have seen it. Same old quality control bullshit as far as the gold linings here and little bits of splashes here and there, but overall, solid job. Sculpt will get a perfect 5 stars. As far as accuracy goes, this is it. Accessories will also get a perfect 5. What do you know? He comes with everything you need, nothing you don't. Articulation will get a 4. Limited in the arms a little bit. You can see where the plastic will kind of like bulge out and stretch a little bit if you try to get him in something that he just doesn't want to do. But overall, moves very smoothly, and not too much hindrance other than the arms and the standard crotch stuff. Fun factor will get a 4.5. As far as fighting skill goes, Ouja is the best there is. Like I said, he's the perfect rider. He has so many different degrees of play and even display. It's hard not to have fun with him. I was really on the wall of what to give him, but I think I've decided upon 4.5 stars. I really didn't want to be as critical as I was, because he's an awesome figure. But, you know, I really think that the intricate detailing would have really helped with the visual aspects of the figure. I'm sure my complaints are trivial, specific, and you might even want to give him the perfect 5. As far as recommendation goes, there's no doubt about it. Asakura or JTC is a crowd pleaser and must get, doubly if he has an opponent to smack around with. I want to thank you guys for watching my review on Kamen Rider Strike. I also want to thank Shukuen Shinobi again for his great review, and take care, everybody.